Hey gang, what's up? I think you guys are used to me only having like 1 week's worth up at a time. And when I was doing my stream setups today, I thought, well, I'm sitting here, I might as well. So I did, and now everybody's confused. Uh, Somebody reach out to Martina and make sure she's not sitting in the other sprints. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sarah had to go take mom to a doctor's appointment. Oh, how you guys doing? How you doing? What you working on? Today is admin day for me, so I've got that damn twitch in my eye. I don't know why it's been there for like a week. Um, I'm working on some planning. I got my admin stuff all done. Got a new Substack article um, ready to go. It'll hit inboxes tomorrow. And I had discovered that I had another one that I meant to schedule out, and I didn't. So I scheduled that one for next week. So I'm good. I'm good for Substack posts for a couple of weeks, which makes me happy. Um, but I'm just working on what am I looking at here? I'm going to work on my Ideal Life workbook um, for HB90, which enrollment opens Sunday at noon, and the kickoff call is on the 15th. It's like 2 weeks away. How the heck? But here we are. But here we are. For those of you who are Saturday scribers as well, then I haven't got the workbook done yet for um, Reflect and Plan, but I'm doing it tomorrow. So it will be put up in the Google Drive tomorrow. So there's that. Brandy is eating and on the phone. As long as you get something to eat, hun. So what are you guys working on, if anything? Oh, stupid YouTube doing stupid YouTube things, Kay. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. I slept almost 12 hours last night. I think what happened was I woke up around 5:30, got up, went to the bathroom, came back to bed, and I fell back to sleep. And then the next thing I know, at 9:30, almost a quarter after 9, Mom's sticking her head in the door asking me if I'm okay. And I went to bed early because I hadn't slept the night before. And oh my gosh, I think I'm still playing catch up. But it was well needed. Oh, now I'm yawning because it's that time of the afternoon. So, Yolanda, what are you working on? I think like I said, I just printed off my Picture Your Ideal Life workbook. I do this every quarter. Well, almost every quarter. But I am definitely doing it this quarter because some things have changed for me. And also, I'm trying to come up with a end of month plan. Like, what are the things I need to do at the end of the month? Once a month is over. So obviously tracking my sales and my expenses, but I don't know what else I really should be doing. That's not monthly planning, which I do the week before. So if you guys have any ideas, please, please, please let me know. Yeah, Q3, okay? I mean, I know that we're still in May and we still have a whole month of Q3, but I mean, we start HB90 in the middle of the last month of the quarter, right? Oh, you literally had the Chrome tab muted. Yolanda's going to read the new scenes that she's written and work on them. Yes, I know. How is it almost Q3 already? I don't know how it happened. You only slept 5 hours and 15 minutes. That sucks, girl. That sucks. I can't do less than 8 hours. I can't function. Obviously today I couldn't function on less than 12 hours. But I just had a mild panic. July is when Q3 starts. But you know how HB90 works, right? You do your ideal life workbook, and before the kickoff call. So I'm sorry. The kickoff call is on the 15th. Let me look. No, the 14th. Sorry. The kickoff call is on the 14th. But next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend's double down day. That makes you feel any better or any worse. So I think we're going to do 25s today. Let me go grab our little cafe timer and we will jump in and get to work here. Da, da, da. All right, gang, let's get to it. 25 minutes. I'll see you when it's done. not me getting completely distracted. Um, I was working on my workbook, completely distracted. I can't get over how much things have changed for me from last quarter. Um, and that's because I took a real deep dive into why am I doing this? Like I revisited my why and it went beyond what I thought it did. I really sat with the reasons, and while at first I didn't like them, I realized that it is what I need right now. And just for transparency's sake, when I did that, a lot of it came down to the money. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. It was like, I'm doing this to make money. I was like, no, I'm doing this because I'm a creative person. And these are the stories I wanted when I was a kid and la, 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 or when I was a young adult. But you know what? Right now, in this moment, in this season that I am in, I need a paycheck. I need to be able to pay my bills. And so I'm going to have to pivot. I'm pivoting more heavily marketing for Q3, going direct to the vendors, selling direct from my websites, all of that sort of thing. Yeah. So things have completely changed, all while trying to get my health back. This is like huge for me right now, right? Um, Yolanda, love, turn your phone off because I get texts. I have a phone number from a different province because when I got my cell phone, I lived in New Brunswick. Now I'm in Nova Scotia. So I get text messages from for their candidates. And usually when it's like a liberal or New Democratic Party or something like that, I just text them back and say, I'm sorry, I don't live in New Brunswick any longer. Please remove me from your list. But when it's a conservative, which is our version of a Republican, I text them back things like, I'd rather gnaw off my own leg. Because they'll come and they'll say, can we count on your vote? I'd rather gnaw off my own leg. Like, get bent, right? Yet they still keep texting me. They don't take the hint. They still keep texting me. So, honey, turn your phone off. If you need to get stuff done, you're allowed to turn your phone off. If something goes like completely sideways with family or something like that, they will find a way to get a hold of you. They'll call your husband or knock on your door or send the police or something. You don't need to have your phone turned on all the time, love. You really don't. Kay got distracted. Sorry. Chad's not even here. Chad's not even here. Elle's going to be going on lunch. Okay, cool. Steph got nothing done. Hey, you're still here, though, love. Still here. You still shut up for yourself. That's important. You know what? The money is not half bad in and of itself. And I really need to focus. I spent the first half of the year focusing on my writing. And I figured out that I can pump out 10K a week and I can do that over 3 days. So that leaves the other 2 days a week for me to do marketing, right? So this quarter, I think I am going to focus, or this round of HB90, I think I'm really going to focus on the how do I get my books marketed? How do I bring in more sales? One thing that I have done is for my Lang Walsh stuff, I've actually found some places that I can advertise because I always thought there was nowhere to advertise. But I was telling myself that, but I wasn't doing the research. I was like, oh, it's first of all, it's queer. That's strike one. It's erotica. That's strike two. So I was telling myself, there's no place out there where I can advertise. Well, guess what? I found 3 places at least, just a surface dive. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? Tell them that. Tell them that. my dad, I got that kind of mentality, Yolanda, for those kind of responses from my dad. Um, his two favorite responses were, "I'd rather have a hemorrhoid," and "I'd rather poke myself in the eye with a sharp stick." His father was like that. And his favorite one, being the born and bred Newfoundlander that he was, "I'd rather get a kick in the arse with a frozen boot. But I'd rather poke myself in the eye with a sharp stick, and I'd rather gnaw off my own leg." Right? And I'd rather have a hemorrhoid if you really want to be crass. All right, my loves, let's get into the next spread. Oh, I'm gonna get to get a snack. I think that's part of my problem. I need to go fuel my body. I'm gonna go grab some yogurt, and I will see you guys in 25 minutes. second. Oh my God. Y'all. I just got slapped in the face with my own. I think I just ran out of tape. I did too. I also just ran out of correction tape. Oh my God. I'm having a moment. There. Finish my thought. How you guys doing? How you doing? Sarah has not arrived yet, I don't think. Sent Brandy off to have a nap. It's been a busy day for her. And I am just continuing on. I want to share something with you guys because it kind of slapped me. So my whole no limits thing is 6 figures a year. That's my whole no limits. If everything went right, what would I want to have happen? 6 figures a year, because then mom could retire. I could help family. I could help my friends financially. That sort of thing. And then the next question after that in this workbook is, what do you think is holding you back right now from achieving the life of your dreams? And my response is lack of knowledge. And when I say lack of knowledge, I mean marketing knowledge, right? And it's, what are you most afraid of when it comes to, going after the dreams? And of course, there's always the fear of failure. We all have that. But there's also the fear of success. And it struck me why I have a fear of success is because I feel like if I'm successful, I'm going to be forced to do things I don't want to do. Like, if I became Stephen King successful, I'd have to be on talk shows. I'd have to be out there putting my face out there and going places and traveling and doing all these things that, when all I really want to do is write the books and collect the money. And this is the first time in all of these years of doing HB90 that I figured that out. This is why I feel like it's so important to be doing this workbook every quarter. Because every time I do it, I learn something new about myself, and also found out through doing this workbook that the whole lack of knowledge thing and why am I just not doing it is because I have this fear that taking time away from putting words on the page is going to somehow hurt what little success I already have. But it makes no sense, right? It makes no sense because, yes, you have to write the books, but then you also have to go out and find the readers. You also have to market your book in order for people to find it. So pumping out books is not going to do me any good if the books aren't selling, right? Right? This could turn into a workshop, I think. I think this is going to turn into a workshop for June, for Scroll and Scribe, because I feel like this is something we don't look at enough. So there's that. Kay watched some, I don't know what WPE is. What is WPE? I don't know what that is. I'm so terrible at acronyms. Did I ever tell you guys that about the first time that my dad heard the acronym WTF? He thought it meant, wow, that's funky. It's so cute. Wow, that's funky. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are just in the trenches, but I'm not getting any. Oh, there we go. I was supposed to say I wasn't getting anything in the chat, but Kay just came in. A gaming stream. Okay. I just bookmarked a 26 minute long video of that came out 2 days ago for all the horror trailers for movies that are coming out this summer. Trying to find a small snippet to share in my newsletter of my work in progress. That's the hardest. That's the hardest. Like when I do my videos, when I do my trailers, oh my god, you should have seen me trying to figure out the when I did the cover reveal for Cage Soul. And the thing is that those are snippets that I hadn't even had edited yet. So, yeah, yeah. Anyhow, all right, let's jump in. Do another 25. Sounds like fun. What? What sounds like fun? I'm having a moment, you guys. Like, I don't know why. I think I got too much sleep last night because I've been having a hard time focusing all day, and I have the memory of a goldfish today. Just anyway, let's get back to it. 25 minutes. I'll see you when it's done. All right, loves. I just realized I had Chad up. Chad need to come get them. So how you guys doing? I know Kay went off for a nap, so that just leaves Yolanda and Steph. How you guys doing? I am um I'm still working my way through this workbook. Um I did come up with a couple of things that I think are going to be super important um as far as what my schedule is going to look like. And I'm probably going to start next month. I'm not going to wait until Q3 to start this new schedule. I'll know more tomorrow. But yeah, Yolanda having to stop and do a little outline because all the new scenes are messing with my timeline. Oh, I hate it when that happens. I need to see how it all works together. I've been there. Actually, I'm there right now because I realized that there was a couple of breadcrumbs that I wanted to put in this book and I forgot about them when I was plotting. I get that. I'm glad it's coming along well for you though. Yeah, that's something I'm going to be working on this weekend for sure is going back and just making sure I'm at the midpoint. I'm at the midpoint and I need to go back and I need to make sure that I'm pulling all of those threads through from book 2 as well, right? Um, I tell you one thing that I always do, Yolanda, that might help is when I sit down to start a new book, the very first thing I do, if it's in a series, the very first thing I do is I grab my brainstorming notebook, and I write down what has to happen, what like has to happen in this book, and then I just make a list, right? So like in this book, this guy has to like be able to do this kind of magic, and this portal needs to collapse, and this elf needs to kill this vampire or whatever, right? And then, but the important part, which I didn't do for this book, is going back and revisiting that as you're like having it there while you're plotting. But that's making sure that, and even like I'll put something like I need to breadcrumb X, like I need to breadcrumb this thing that's going to happen in book 5, right? So that you're making sure that you're getting all of those little nuances in there, because I know that can be super important when you're writing a series, especially if it's a series with a big world or multiple worlds or magic systems and stuff like that, or if it's like a homicide thriller or something, right? Um, and this is one of the reasons why I write my pen name stuff, which is like smut for smut's sake, so that I can just write something that doesn't require so much brain work. Um, this is book 1 of 2, maybe 3. Yeah, so you're going to want to do that because there's going to be stuff that goes into book 1 that you're hinting at, but that it's not going to happen until book 2. The whole foreshadowing thing, right? You're going to want to make sure you do some foreshadowing in these books. So, and then you're going to want to make sure that when you write the book, that the foreshadowing is in, that you're actually doing it, which is the problem I ran into because I didn't keep my brainstorming journal on my desk when I was plotting, right? Because I did that for book 2. I just kept it right on my desk as I was plotting, putting up my sticky notes and everything else. So I was constantly referring to it, and then for some reason it just went out of my sieve for a brain when I was plotting out book 3. So didn't intend to do a series. Standalones are great. Series is better. People want to stay in the world, right? You create this world, you take all that time doing it. People want to stay there. Just saying. It's always the way. It's always the way. Your whole brain needs more sleep. I agree. I need more sleep. I think we all need more sleep. Sorry. I can't even say it without yawning. All right, gang. This is our last sprint. So let's make it a good one. Okay. Where are you, Cafe? I will see you in 25 minutes. My loves. Hey, Sarah. How you doing? Um, yeah, so I finished the workbook, and I was just saying through all of this, Sarah, that I did the Ideal Life workbook over again, like I usually do, but that things have seriously changed for me. Once I admitted to some very uncomfortable truths, like I'm in it for the money. I got bills to pay, right? But for some reason, for years, I had been just sitting here with the this can't be about the money. This guy, it's just not right to admit that you want to make money from your creative endeavors. Well, guess what? I don't know if you guys know who Juliet Banks is. She's an indie author. She lives in New Zealand, and she rapid releases. So she's lucky enough that she has people to help her. Um, but she publishes a book a month. Her books tend to be around 40,000 words. And she started off with Mafia Romance, which made big money for her. She is a seven-figure author. She will be speaking at Inkers Con. If you're going, she's going to be doing a virtual, I don't know if she's going to be live or doing virtual, but anyway, she's speaking at Inkers Con. And I look at Juliet and I'm like, that's what I want. I want to be able to buy my dream home 3 to 5 years into, doing this author thing. She's also a machine. Like, she is so disciplined, you guys. Go find her on Facebook. It's Juliet N. Banks. Go follow her. She's amazing. She's a wonderful person, first of all, but scrape every little bit of information you can from her. There's no way I could put out a book a month. My books tend to be around 75,000 words, and that's not possible. If I was writing shorter books, maybe, but yeah, risking burnout. And that's one thing you don't see happen with Juliet. She's never stepping on burnout. I mean, she just moved again for the fourth time in 2 years, third time in 2 years. And it's just her and her cat Tilly, who was Ziggy's internet girlfriend. But she didn't stop. She didn't slow her business down to do these big moves, the moving house, right? Yeah. See, you write me. You write big books. She writes small books. So it's much easier for her. But at the same time, she still has to sit down and write those books, and she still has to, market those books, and she still has to have those books edited, and she still has to do all the things that we do. But at the same time, she also has a heavy background in marketing. She spent like 3 decades in marketing. So she really knows her stuff. So absolutely go follow her over on Facebook, because I think that's the only place she is over on Facebook. But I want that. And I want to be able to sit here and say, I make 7 figures a year. And I think I have just come to the conclusion that there's nothing wrong with saying that. So yeah, this is going to be the season of putting aside my bullshit. Are you guys with me or what? Let's do it. Okay. It is, I'm going to put it in the chat here so you can go find her. She also has a Facebook group that's just for authors. I don't know if it's closed now for membership, but she does a lot of like videos and stuff. And Juliet N. Banks. Sarah, you're having a moment. Having a moment, girl. Okay, so also mentioned that Sarah, that I was going to be starting next week, probably switching up my windstorm days, but that should not affect our times for coaching and co-work and private sprints. If anything, I might be 2 or 3 minutes late getting started. Okay. It's been a day. I had too much sleep last night. Now I'm all like, what? Okay. Listen, I love you guys. I'm gonna go work on my budgeting. Joy. And don't forget this Saturday we have Reflect and Plan. Workbook will be up by the end of the day tomorrow. For those of you who are Saturdays, if you're coming in on the replay, love you, love you. Sherry, if you're watching this, I miss your face. Yeah. So we'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll be around in sprints. I'll be in Sarah's sprints on Friday for sure. So I will see you guys later. Love you.